Well, a couple of big updates later and a few weeks, and I've got a better position on how I feel about this game, which is to say that it's a torn feeling. I waited so long for this game, and it delivered everything that it said it was going to deliver as far as the gameplay, the world, like the way it looks, the way it flows, the way it feels. Everything is there. They nailed it all. Except it just feels like empty. It feels like, I don't know. To me, anyway, it just felt kind of empty and pointless. The first major problem was that the enemies were, one and done, and they addressed that with the last update. Since I've made this video, they added respawning enemies in certain locations. They've added a new difficulty. They've changed the way the New Game Plus loop works. They're making steps. They really are. But even still, I struggle to find any, I don't know. I don't feel... It feels like there should be more to the world. It feels like it should be more alive. Feel like there's more purpose. But even still, with what they've added, to me, the fighting is... it's fun. But the way that the encounters work, it's just the same thing over and over. It's too easy. And they seem to have addressed that now by making them take more damage. The way to balance combat is not to make the enemy stronger, but to make the combat more dynamic. And when you have a combat system that is as dynamic as the combat system in this, the boring part of the fights is just that, they don't use, for the longest time, I've had the same attack pattern. I swoop in with my burning, I throw down my freeze, and then I swoop back out with the burning, and then I just launch bullets at everything. If I start to die or take damage, then I boost myself. And if I want to have fun, then I throw on one of the extra, radiation or cryo or fire onto my bullets. Otherwise, it's just shooting and jumping. And, you can throw in the combos and all that if you want, but it's not necessary. They didn't make it to where you have to, and to me that makes it feel a little bit boring. So while the story's great, the gameplay's great, the world is awesome, it just doesn't feel to me like there's purpose to it. It's fun. I like to jump in. I like to run around and do stuff, and now that they added the respawning enemies, it is more fun to have more to do, but at the same time it's just boring. I don't know how else to say it. It saddens me to say it because I really love the game. Look at this. This should be amazing. This gigantic creature shooting fireballs at me, and it's not. It's just jump around and shoot. In fact, I took my time on it, but as you can see, I just have the same, swoop in with fire, freeze them, throw down that ice skating rink is what I call it, and then repeat while throwing bullets around, and then take my time if I feel like just making it last longer. But otherwise, it's pretty much just spamming the trigger and changing it up if I feel like I want to, but otherwise you don't need to. And then once you've maxed out, or not maxed out, but at least for your current position on your character, if you've maxed out your stats that you to the best you can, and your damage and everything, what's the point? You're doing so much damage that it doesn't matter. So it's while they have the most awesome thing that they could have right here, it's a little bit boring. I think that they have really got something on their hands here. I think if you took this game and you combined it with the flow and model of something like a Destiny, where you have an online living multiplayer single player, I think you have gold. I think if they built this out to be something bigger with raids and more structured battle, I run into an area, I open all the crates, I kill all the things, I leave. That's the game. The The dungeons are not really dungeons. You go through like 4 sections that have either something hidden in them or some kind of loot, and then you hit like a little spot with enemies, and then you keep going. And then you either reach the end of it and it has loot, or it has something you can't get yet, or it's, you know, it's something that's related to the game. So like, no matter what you're doing, it's always like, it never feels like you did anything special. It always just feels like, oh, I was supposed to do that, or oh, I had to come here anyway, I have to come back. So it's like they have the potential to really create something awesome here with the loot system. I mean, like, it's like they created a game that was meant to be bigger than it is, but like, they're not taking advantage of that yet. So I still hold out hope that they're just building it up. Like many games these days, they start out as something completely different than what they end up as. I always say, look at No Man's Sky. If you look at that game, it started out with a huge idea. It delivered a fraction of that idea, but over time, it's built it up to like beyond the original idea. So games can evolve, they can change, they can get better, and it depends on the community. And if the community says, you know, hey, we want this enough times, you're going to get it, or you're going to get some version of it. And I think that Biomutant has the potential to be something a lot bigger than it is right now. Right now, it seems like it is just a pale shadow of what it could be. But all the pieces are there. Not much needs to change. They just need to make the combat more dynamic and make it feel like there's a reason to be there and do the things that there are to do. Otherwise, I still love the game. I like, it feels boring to me. I mean, it's got so much cool shit. I love every aesthetic. I love every aspect of it, except for it just feels empty and boring. Like, it doesn't feel like it should. And I don't know exactly how to balance that. I have my own theories and ideas, and I have a game design sort of education, so, you know, I have my ideas, but like, there is no direct answer when it comes to how to balance or create the best game. However, this game has not just the bones, but the muscles and the skin. It's got the genetics all around to be something amazing. It's just not there yet, and I have a feeling it can get there if they keep putting effort and work into it, and they have so far. The updates that have been coming out have addressed the major issues to some degree, and at that pace, it can only get better, and we'll see, you know, we'll see in a couple months, maybe a year, where the game's at. You know, I might come back a couple months from now and make a whole new video about a different game called Biomutant, because it happens. So we'll see. But right now, it's a love-hate relationship, because I love everything about the game except playing the game. So there you go. Thanks for watching. My original initial hands-on review is I still stand by it. I had a bias and a love for this game before it came out, so, you know, there was a little bit of that, and there still is. Like I said, I do love every aspect of the game, except for playing it. It just, like, I mean, and when I say playing it, I love the combat, I love playing the game, I just don't like it feels empty and boring to me, and it feels like it's missing something. That's all. However, I don't have the answer to what that something is. It's just some sort of balance. There's some sort of balance missing. You're too powerful. There's too much that you have at your disposal, and no reason to use any of it. And so when they figure out that balance, they're gonna master it. My recommendation is that they adapt some sort of Destiny 2 living online model to where you have like multiplayer, you have raids, you have this looting, shooting, melee festival. All the bits and pieces are there if they just combine them properly. So that's my take. I still love Biomutant. If I had to rank it, I couldn't give it numbers unless I did it like on different aspects, like graphics. You know, top numbers, 8 out of 10. Design overall, aesthetically pleasing, the art style, all of that, the world building, all of that is great. I give it, you know, high numbers up in the 8s, 9s, and 10s. The only part is the balance, and once they figure that out, it'll be an all-around perfect game. They just got to get it. Otherwise, it's a one and done, and there's no reason to keep playing it over and over unless you're just super into it. Personally, I am not. I wish they would adopt a little bit more of a Dark Souls type of strategy when it comes to like the encounters and the bosses. Even, I mean, it's a taste of like Breath of the Wild, but even still, it's like, I don't know. There's something missing. It's not as complex as it could be, or should be. But there you go. Thanks for watching. If you haven't bought Biomutant yet, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy it, but maybe try to find it on sale. You know, never hurts to save a little money. So there you go. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.
That's an odd thing, don't you think?